The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
All right, back on the Domino's postgame report as Carson-Newman falls to the Wingate Bulldogs 25-3. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Clowney. Mike, some positives to take from this, some negatives to take from this. We'll start with the positives defensively. If you were told before the game that you're going to hold the country's second most efficient quarterback to nearly a 50% completion percentage, you're going to hold the reigning sack offensive player of the week to 0.6 yards a carry, you'd probably be pretty happy about your chances of winning. How about the job of the defense today against the Bulldogs?
I'm super excited about where our defense played. I thought our guys just did a good job as far as, we talked last week, our big thing was growth. And we made a lot of mistakes on the defensive end last week, and the good thing was just kind of to see us minimize that. Our defense was put in a lot of critical, tough situations, and to be able to hold those guys to field goals, we wound up giving up the touchdown later in the game. But I'm super proud with the effort and the way that they came back from last week to adjust and put us in a chance to they gave us a chance to win the game.
Rondro Peebles, preseason All-American for a reason. Goodness gracious, he was all over the place. Double-digit tackle performance, a couple tackles for loss. What stuck out to you about him and something that's near and dear to your heart, linebacking play in general today?
I think Rondro is one guy we've challenged him to really come on and be a leader. He's one of the few older guys we have. And it's interesting to just kind of hear what he had to say in the locker room a second ago, to talk to the guys about, hey, being young is not an excuse. We got to grow up. We got to move forward. Like, we can't come out and gripe and complain about whatever works it takes for us to be able to be successful. And, it was interesting to hear him say it, but you were able to see that on the field today. And that's the first thing that has to happen. You have to be able to see it, and then you be able to talk about it. And it's good to see Rondro's progress there.
This is a Wingate team. Again, a lot's changed since 2019, but that team held 2019's team to negative 3 yards of offense in the fourth quarter and under 50 yards of total offense in the second half. Struggled to move the football consistently against the Bulldogs again today. How much of that is owed to what Wingate did defensively? How much is owed to the fact that you are still early in the process in the journey of what your team has offensively?
The biggest thing we continue to try to do is develop experience there. We still made a lot of mistakes, put ourselves in some tough situations with some of those mistakes. Even having a chance a couple times to be able to go in and have scores. And, we did something to kind of take ourselves we still tried to field goals, but we're probably a little bit further out of range to make that a little bit tougher and put Christian in some situations on that. But, the biggest thing for us there is to find a flow. We still have to find a flow offensively. We've got guys that we feel like we want to try to get the ball to, but we've got to be able to run the ball, set up the pass, and then be able to throw the ball and be able to run the ball back inside. So we've got to find a better way to kind of flow into what we're trying to get done.
How tough is it to find that flow, though, against the caliber of competition that you have faced these first 2 weeks?
And that's one thing I told our guys in the locker room, even they're ranked, but, I choose our guys. I just think that we have what it takes to be able to go move the football there, as long as we go out and execute the way that we need to execute.
What was the greater harm today? The lack of – obviously you didn't score, but the struggles in special teams, defending punt returns, and Wingate getting really good field position, or just the inconsistencies offensively?
The thing that we talked to the guys about in there is understanding how the game flows with field position. Early in the game, we get stuck down here on a kick, and then we punt it out. Well, they're standing on, the 40-yard line, which means they've got a 60% chance of scoring, once we put them there on the 40. So we've got to understand, even though we get in a tough situation, we've got to move the ball offensively, convert first downs, and then if we do have to punt, be able to flip the field to put our defense in a little better situation. And then, we get a stop and we'll be able to kind of go in and score. Understanding how this whole game flows together is something that we're still trying to make sure we learn how to do.
Offensively, what growth did you see week 1 to week 2?
I thought we had a little bit better flow offensively. I felt like, 2 weeks ago we were completely out of rhythm and couldn't find any flow at all. I thought we gave ourselves a couple chances to be able to score today. I thought, we converted a couple of first downs. We just got to continue to get better at doing those things. And we got to finish. That's got to be the mantra for our offense right now. It's like, it's not good enough to get to the 30 and then let's just go try to kick a field goal. We got to finish. We got to finish drives. We got to finish, converting first downs. You know, that's got to be the thing for us offensively. We got to push through wherever we're at to get to where we need to go.
This has been an interesting start to the year because, one, you've had the home field advantage, but you've had the home field advantage against 2 top 20 teams. Now you're on the road for 3 straight against a first-year program in Barton, a UVA-wise team that is on the up and up, and a Catawba team that's 3-0. How do you bounce back and build with 3 away from the home ground?
You know, it's going to be coming back and figuring out what we did right, what we did wrong, and then what we'd have to do to win the football game next week. And I think the biggest thing is just keeping our guys up. You know, so a lot of times, you know, none of us like to lose. And, you know, anytime that happens, you always have a tendency to have some other things kind of ripple. You know, I should have played, he should have played. But the biggest thing that we want to make sure that we do is we keep the right mentality and we keep moving forward.
Feeds into the one mindset, does it not?
That's the reason we had that theme. It's like, you know, we either all win or we all lose. And so we've got to make sure we continue to work to get on the same page.
Mike Clowney, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you next week at UVA Wise.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
It's Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Clowney. Domino's postgame report rolls on after this on the Eagles Sports Network.